To the markets now, and a cautious end to the week despite gains on all offshore markets. Big banks and the big miners all saw big losses, leaving the ASX in the red, and the Aussie dollar is down against all of the major currencies. For more on the day's trading, Ric Spooner from CMC Markets joins me now. Thanks for your time, Ric. Yesterday's rally, very short-lived. What's happened?
It is. Well, it's all about Greece, I think. As you say, we ended up with the ASX 200 index down 11 points, or about 0.2%. I think overnight news made it pretty clear that there remains a considerable gulf between Greece and its creditors as we move pretty close now to the deadline in getting a resolution to the Greek debt negotiations. And with that in mind, I think buyers were reluctant to extend the rallies that they embarked on yesterday.
Some big moves in the bond market this week. What's that telling us?
They have. Well, this has been one of the really interesting features of the markets in the last 10 days or so, that we had seen a major selling of bonds, or a rise in bond yields, as investors have clearly made up their mind that we are not too far away from seeing the Fed begin to tighten monetary policy, lift rates, and presumably in the long term also for other central banks to follow. And that had been a considerable negative for share markets because, of course, a lot of the top part of the valuations in share markets was about chasing yield and low bond yields. But by the middle of the week, I think investors had made up their minds that that process had gone far enough, and we saw a return to buying of equities, only to be turned on its head by the Greek news last night.
Now, turning locally to the share market, looking at the Murdoch succession planning news today, any response from either 10 or News Corp shares, keeping in mind that Lachlan is, of course, the chairman at 10?
Yeah, not much, well, no response as far as News Corp is concerned, but with 10, we did see a rally of 1.5 cents, which on a move from 25 to 26.5 cents amounts to 6%. Now, those kind of moves can sometimes be a bit misleading with, with stocks which are not worth much money. It might not really mean anything, but it was a positive move, and it does possibly reflect investors just positioning for the possibility that this might ultimately result in some sort of corporate play and change of ownership for 10.
Ric Spooner from CMC Markets, thank you very much for your time.
It's a pleasure.